Your agency isn't stuck. It's asking you to grow. Hello and welcome back. My name is Bethany, founder of the Home Care Agency Academy, where I help aspiring home care agency owners start their agency from the very beginning. And we do this together. We do this through our coursework and with a lot of support, as well as just teaching you compliance and systems so that your agency can run efficiently and you don't have to struggle or reinvent the wheel. Okay? For those of you watching who maybe already have your agency started, or you've been doing this for a little while, but you feel like maybe you've hit a plateau, this one is for you. So if you're feeling stuck, you don't know what's wrong, you don't feel like you're growing anymore, if you've ever felt this way, I want to have this conversation with you today. So I want to go ahead and challenge your thinking a little bit, if that's all right. What if your agency isn't actually stuck? What if your agency is simply asking you to grow? Now, before you think, well, that's easy for you to say, hear me out, because I don't say this to criticize you. I say it because I've lived it. Over the last 15 years, I've had seasons where my own agency felt like it had completely stalled. The phone ringing as a referral load, hiring felt harder than ever. That's been a big one for us where I live, actually. Everything suddenly required just more effort and really thinking like outside the box. My first instinct was to assume something was wrong. Maybe I wasn't working. Maybe I wasn't, good enough to compete with the other agencies in my community. Maybe I reached my limit. But looking back now, none of those things were actually true. The business wasn't broken. It was inviting me to become a different kind of leader. And I've noticed that same pattern over and over again with agency owners all across the country. Every plateau has lessons hiding inside of it. Sometimes your business is asking for better systems. Sometimes it's asking for more consistency. Sometimes it's asking you to become visible again. Sometimes it's asking you to stop trying to do everything by yourself. Sometimes it's asking you to finally look at those numbers, like really look at them. Sometimes it's asking you to delegate. And sometimes it's asking you to lead differently. I think one of the biggest misconceptions in business is that growth should always feel exciting. It doesn't. Sometimes growth feels uncomfortable because growth usually asks us to change before our business changes. Let me give you an example. Let's say your schedule feels completely out of control. You're putting out fires every day. You're constantly reacting. You tell yourself, my schedule is a mess. But maybe the problem isn't really scheduling. Maybe your business is asking you to create systems. Maybe it's asking you to document processes. Maybe it's asking you to train differently. Maybe it's asking you to stop carrying everything in your own head. Or maybe marketing is slowed down. It's easy to say, my community just isn't referring. But maybe your agency is asking you to become visible again, to reconnect with those referral partners that you first established when you first got licensed, to share your story. Maybe that's on your social media pages, just resharing that story again of why you started and who you are and where you're headed. Like what's the future plans for your agency? Maybe it's reconnecting and educating with your community, right? To build relationships instead of waiting for referrals to appear. You see, businesses are actually wonderful teachers for the leaders. If we listen, every challenge has something to teach us. It's sometimes hard to see it in the moment. I feel that way. But I often tell all of my students, my aspiring owners and current owners, that agency ownership is one long leadership class. Every client teaches you something. Every caregiver teaches you something. Every difficult conversation teaches you something. Every season teaches you something. The question isn't, why is this happening? The better question is, what is this trying to teach me? The one question completely that one question completely changes your perspective when we ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because now you're no longer kind of stuck in that sort of, why is this happening? Like, what's wrong with my agency? What's wrong with me? Instead, you can become a student of your business. I can remember a season when I was feeling completely overwhelmed. I thought the answer was to work harder, longer days, more hours, answer every phone call, do everything myself. Does that sound familiar? Eventually, I realized something. Working harder wasn't solving the problem. Building better systems was. That lesson changed my business and honestly changed my life. One of the reasons I love talking with agency owners is because sometimes all it takes is one conversation, one fresh perspective, one simple idea, one question you hadn't considered before. And suddenly you see your business differently. That's why I believe community is so valuable, because other people have all the answers, but because together we see things we might miss on our own. Sometimes another owner says, have you thought about trying this? And you think, I didn't see that. Huh. That's the power of perspective. It's also why I continue to surround myself with people who challenge me, even after 15 years. I don't ever want to become the kind of leader who thinks, I've arrived and that's it, and there's no more to learn or to figure out. Because the truth is, leadership is always growing. If your business is growing, your leadership has to grow with it, right? Otherwise, eventually your business outgrows your ability to lead it. That's not something to fear. It's actually exciting because it means every challenge is preparing you for the next level. So if you're watching this today and you feel like you've been stuck, can I encourage you to change one word? Just one. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, try asking, what is my business asking me to learn right now? That one question might completely change your week. Maybe your agency isn't stuck at all. Maybe it's inviting you into your next season of leadership. And if you're looking for a place where you can have conversations like these every month, where you can ask questions, work through challenges, share ideas, and continue growing alongside other agency owners, that's exactly why I created the mentorship membership and the Home Care Agency Society. Not because your business is broken, but because every leader deserves a place to keep growing. Before we wrap this up, I'd love to leave you with one challenge. This week, instead of focusing on what's frustrating you, ask yourself, what is this situation trying to show me and teach me? Write it down, sit with it, and just acknowledge the answer, right? I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. If there's anything here that you have questions on, anything that resonated with you, well, do let me know. And let me know too, where do you feel like your agency has plateaued? Is it in marketing? Is it in hiring, leadership, systems? Is it in client intakes? Let's go ahead and have a conversation together, because chances are if you're experiencing it, somebody else watching this video is too. That's just how it works. I appreciate you being here and spending this time with me. Any thoughts, any questions, reach out. Either comment below or reach out. support@bethanyratcliffe.com. And I will talk to you later. Take care.